Hi! Today I'm with Adrienne and Jaycie. Hello.
Hello.
So can you first introduce yourself? Adrienne
Yeah.
first, maybe?
Hi, I'm Adrienne. I am a current PhD candidate at Southern Cross Uni.
And yeah, I'm Jaycie. I'm a second year student at Southern Cross Uni doing my Bachelor of Science and majoring in Marine.
Yeah, great. So with Jaycie we're gonna ask questions to Adrienne about her background and how she ended up working with sharks. And so but first, what's your academic background to end up?
So I did my undergraduate through two institutions. So back in Aotearoa, New Zealand, I did a polytech, kind of like a TAFE course, but like it classified as the first 2 years of my degree. Through that, we did like heaps of hands-on stuff, and I got my dive master ticket and all of that sort of really cool stuff through that course. So big like immersion into the marine world. I'd never dived prior to that, so that was pretty cool. Like showed up with we had to have our dive gear on day one, and I was like, I guess this is me. Just spent all this money, but never looked back. And then I did my third year through Waikato Uni in Aotearoa as well, and that was just classic third year. And then I moved to Adelaide, and I went to Flinders University there and did my honours, where I was with Professor Charlie Huveniers and Dr. Laura Meyer and Dr. Tom Clark, who were my supervisors. And we worked out on the white shark cage diving boats. So I looked at the impact of cage diving on the behaviour and energy of the sharks. And now I'm at Southern Cross Uni doing an industry-based PhD, so part through DPI, part through SCU, working on the behaviour and movement of white sharks.
That's so cool. And when did you realise that you wanted to work with sharks? Was it for your honours, like it just appeared like that, or you already had an idea?
When I was little, I wanted to do dolphins. I always wanted to be a marine scientist. And I actually went off and did the first semester of a primary teaching degree back in the time where, there was a lot of comments around, no jobs and a lot of those sorts of comments that tend to dissuade that path. And at the end of my first semester, I went to South Africa for a wedding. And we went cage diving with the white sharks over there, and I pretty much that same day withdrew from my degree and went and did the marine science diploma, which I'd actually found when I was still in high school that I really wanted to do. I went down that path, and from that cage diving I was like, I want to work with these animals. And then I was lucky enough to attend a conference from the Oceania Chondrichthyan Society it would have been 2018. I was still in my third year. And it was here in Australia on Straddie. And I met two of my future honours supervisors. And just from there, I kind of got an opportunity to work with the white sharks. Like I just emailed and was like, I want to do sharks and behaviour. And they were like, oh, we have this project. And I was like, okay.
Oh, so cool.
So it just kind of, spiraled.
And when you've done the cage diving, was it the first time you saw a shark? Or?
Yes. Yeah.
It must have been incredible.
It was so good. Yeah, it was back when they still had white sharks and we're getting really good sightings. It was pretty special.
Yeah. Do you remember it, like, since it was, like, I forgot my word, but do you remember it if it was yesterday or? A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's always like that when you see like a big animal. You just remember it. You never forget it. Yeah. And so you're working with white sharks, but is it your favorite species or do you have another one?
It's not my favorite species. I have three favorites. I like the basking shark. So that's like a big shark that filter feeds, and they can breach their entire bodies out the water at the same sort of energy and speed level as a white shark. So it's pretty impressive. Wow. And then I like the prickly dogfish, I think it's called sometimes. It's the angular rough shark. And then there's the hammerhead as well. Oh, yeah. You've got to have a classic in there.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite shark, Jaycie?
I don't know, there's a special place in my heart for leopard sharks after our dives.
It was so pretty.
But For some reason, black tips
Yeah.
have always been a favourite for no reason
Black tip
whatsoever.
reef sharks?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they've just always been up there for some reason.
Fair.
And except the leopard shark that we saw when we went diving, have you seen a shark before?
No, actually. I'm so keen to... That's why I'm interested in going out now, because the grey nurses and everything. I want to see something a bit bigger. And, yeah.
Yeah, same.
The grey nurses are pretty special.
Yeah.
If you can get out,
100%.
definitely do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look so peaceful and calm when I see the videos.
Yeah, they're so chill. As long as the divers are chill, they're just like, okay.
Mutual respect, right?
Yeah.
And before working with sharks, did you had any fears or misconceptions about them? Like when you were little?
Not really. I never really thought about them. Yeah.
Because I don't know how it is in Australia, but in France we're not really talking a lot about sharks because like where I live in the southwest of France, there are sharks, but most people don't know that there are sharks. So we're not really talking about it. Like we're saying, oh, thank God we're not living in Australia, we don't have sharks, we don't have to worry about it. And now I'm living in Australia. But yeah, so yeah, it was interesting that like even you had things.
No, not really. Like, and I grew up at the beach. Like my dad was a bodyboarder and like run all these comps and stuff. But yeah, I didn't see it in a fear type of way, like at all. It was just something that was there, something you had to respect. And that's how I've grown up to see them. So yeah.
Yeah, because in Australia you live pretty close to the ocean, and you grew up with animals, so you
kind of like not desensitized, but sort of in a way like used to. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I just don't have my words.
Okay, Adrienne, could you describe the work that you're currently doing with sharks?
Yes. Yes, I can. So for my PhD, primarily, I use a bunch of like tagging and tracking tools. So the overall focus is to understand the drivers of behavior and movement for these animals, for white sharks in particular. And what I mean by drivers is like environmental drivers, so sea surface temperature, distance to land, season, habitat, time of day, all of these different environmental variables. But then we also have internal drivers as well. So as they age, they go through, or most animals go through what we call ontogenic shift. So when they age or they sort of start, their movement and behaviour changes in response to their body size, ultimately. So those are like the main focuses. And to do that, we've done a bit of work using satellite tags. So satellite tags that we use are put on the shark's fin. Then they just sort of let go. Those satellites, when the shark's fin breaks the surface, it sends a alert up to the satellites, which comes back down to us, and we get like an error around that point as well. And what we can then do is sort of look at where they've chosen to go, and then where they could go but chose not to go, and create what we call a habitat suitability model. And we use that to sort of look at their current seasonal movements, but then also to cast into the future. So we said, you know, what is the habitat suitability going to look like in 80 years' time? So we were able to sort of look at those sort of anthropogenic impacts, doing a little bit of work using acoustic tags as well. So acoustic tags, the ones that we use have about a 10-year battery life, and they're pretty solid. And they send out a ping every sort of 90 seconds, and any, we call them listening stations that are in the water will pick up that ping within a certain radius. And because we've got there's so many sharks tagged, white sharks tagged here in New South Wales, we're able to sort of look at where these animals are choosing to spend their time. So sort of moving away from a single nursery area into like lots of sort of smaller areas of importance, which we're sort of working on at the moment. And then my primary tool is called an animal-borne camera and accelerometer. And basically we put that on the shark's fin. It just clamps on like a peg, and we let the sharks go, and it records things like video, accelerometer, depth, temperature, and a lot of fine scale movement, which we're then able to sort of recreate their tracks. So we can say at this time on this day they were here. And from there, I'm actually working on identifying how they're spending their time, what environmental drivers might be driving that. And then we've picked up some really cool behaviours, so we're looking into that as well. So that's sort of my PhD. I also do side quests. So I'm doing a bit of work with some sawfish and some really cool eDNA data here in New South Wales. So a few other avenues of work as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Really interesting.
That's a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah, so we went over the tools and techniques. With the shark tags, so they're just like a clip on the fin?
Yep. So they sort of clip on, but they've got what we call a galvanized time release. So as soon as it hits that salt water, it starts corroding. And there's one that wraps around our camera, so the camera itself will fully detach, and then the clamp will also detach. So they detach separately because the clamp makes the whole unit negatively buoyant. So the camera itself will pop off and it floats. It'll float to the surface, and then those satellite tags will start being like, "Hey, I'm on the surface. Come find me."
Oh, yeah. So you have to find it in the ocean, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I call it an orange needle in a blue haystack. You get about this much of the tag sitting out the water.
Oh, wow.
And then we use a VHF radio location, that I'm then on a boat trying to listen to it, and then we're directing. So it can be, a bit of fun to find them again.
So how do you analyse the data that you collect with your studies?
So it depends on the data and on the question. So for the camera data, for example, I use probably three main softwares. So the camera data, we used Solomon Coda, which is basically I had some interns do it for me because it was about 100 hours of footage. And basically you watch your video and then you can put all your behaviours and you just can click and be like, this is what's happening. So then you've got an annotation for every point per second. So that's a really cool way to see what they're doing in that sort of sense. And then for the movement, we use MATLAB to rebuild their tracks. So we're able to what we call geo-relocate their tracks. You have like pseudo-relocation and pseudo-reconstruction and geo-reconstruction. One is kind of like, we think they're kind of over here and you can't really give a latitude and longitude to it, whereas a geo-reconstructed track, we can be like, we're fairly certain it was here. And then I use R for all my other analysis, just because it's so much data. You guys have experience with that.
Through that right now.
It's difficult with two data. So with hundreds of data, it must be.
I can imagine. What does a typical field day involve for you?
Again, it depends. So looking back at my cameras, whether I'm deploying it or recovering it. So we talked briefly about the recovery of those tags. Typically that's like the tags come up, we've got to go get it now. Especially if it's further south, there's some eddies that'll just take my unit out to sea. But usually that's hooking up with like marine rescue or another person to take me out on their boat. And then if it's deploying a tag, we'll either go fishing or out with contractors, and when we get a shark, we'll just put the tag on and sort of let it go. So that's sort of my field work at the moment.
And just for the tags, how long does it stay on the sharks?
So the cameras, my ones typically, I think it's an average of 7.5 days, a max of, the battery runs out at 9 days. So it's some of the longer deployments of these. Typically, they're like 3 to 4 days.
It's like it will run just until the battery is out?
But you've got to select your link, the one that corrodes to the right water temperature and the right amount of time that you want it in the water. Otherwise, it'll pop off too early or too late.
So you kind of know when you will receive the notification that the tag is in the ocean. It's not just random.
We set it, and then it's got I've got a towed satellite tag on my unit as well, which is how we get location while the shark's got the tag on. And that kind of gives us a bit of an indication of where the tag is as well, so we can sort of plan ahead a little bit, which is really nice.
The shark can travel.
Yeah. My furthest one went down to Sydney, beyond Sydney. So yeah, that was a long day. Yeah.
What are some things that people usually imagine about your job but isn't actually true?
That I spend a lot of time in the field.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately probably the smallest part of my work.
Yeah.
But it is it's pretty fun when we do get to go out.
Yeah. Yeah, and what is the thing that you most enjoy working as a marine scientist?
It's probably sort of three things. It'd be the diversity of the work. So each day can be a little bit different. The animals and the collaborators, so the people and the animals that I get to work with are pretty awesome. Yeah, so very fortunate to work with some pretty cool animals and some pretty cool people.
It's very rewarding, I feel.
Yeah.
So now that you've spent a lot of time with sharks, how would you describe their behaviors around humans?
Again, I think it depends on the species and the situation. Yeah.
Sure. And like for white sharks, for example.
It's not really, I haven't really seen them interacting with people. I know that there's a really cool paper that's come out recently using drone footage, and they were classifying like the shark's behavior in response to like people on surfboards, people swimming versus prey items. And there were some pretty cool results. They were finding that the shark would turn away more regularly from the people than it would and towards the prey items. So there's some pretty cool stuff out there on their behavior. But I haven't really spent too much time with white sharks interacting with humans.
Most of the time you're putting the tags on them, like you're not diving with
them. And at the cage diving site it's like a different, they're in sort of more of a foraging mode because we do have bait and burley in the water.
It's a different type of
yeah.
What have you learned about sharks that most people would find really surprising?
White sharks are not quite the opportunistic hunters that they sort of get portrayed as. From what we can tell, they actually seem to be pretty picky. With the prey they go to, they kind of don't always catch their prey. So we watched about 100 hours of footage from New South Wales, and there was X number of burst events. It wasn't very high. We use burst event to classify sort of like a foraging, so they're speeding up, and usually it's towards something. And they didn't catch a single thing. You could see them trying really hard. And then there would be times where there would be a ray sitting on the seabed or a benthic shark species sitting there, and they'd just swim right past it. So it's a lot more, they seem to be quite a lot more picky than... and there's the same sort of data coming out of South Africa and South Australia as well. So those papers will be out soon, and they've got some really cool video footage to share.
Oh, that's so cool. I will read it. Is there a moment with a shark that stayed with you and you can still remember? Like, probably the first time you dived with a shark?
Yeah. Ooh, I do. I have two, actually. One was definitely, I remember this cage diving trip where I wasn't working either as a researcher, or I used to work as a dive master on the boat as well. And I was just there on holiday, just hanging out. And we went down in the cage, and there were about 9 white sharks around us at the same time. The viz was incredible. It was, like you just didn't know which way to look. It was really special. And then it was probably diving with the grey nurse sharks at Pimpernel Rock here in Ongambengia, it's up north a little bit. Yeah, that was pretty special. There's like a big cave there, and the grey nurses are just there, and I remember being like, I can't go into deco, like my watch up in the air, like trying to stay in the cave as long as possible. So it was, pretty special. Yeah.
It's always so, like, we only saw leopard sharks, but we were screaming.
So
it's always so special to see a shark, and like just to see them in their environment, how they move, how they just live. And what still fascinates what still fascinates you about sharks even after years of working with them?
I think, again, it's two things.
There's too much to
there's
say
so
about
many
them.
things, but I think one would be that there's still so much that we don't know. So like we get these little windows into their lives and we see amazing stuff, but we're still like, what else are you doing? Like there's so much that we don't know, we don't see for so many species. And I also like that they've got a pretty incredible evolutionary history. So, you know, survived 5 mass extinction events and have evolved differently each time.
Trees,
and like it's pretty incredible. And you look at your sawfish, you have the big rostra with all the teeth, and then you've got your saw sharks that are the same, but they actually didn't evolve from each other, so they evolved completely separately to have the same sort of mechanism, which is, it's pretty cool.
So we talked about side quests before, and you also have one that is the Young Marine Biologist program. So now with Jaycie, we are volunteering to help you, but can you explain it, like what it is and what you're doing?
So the Young Marine Biologist program was built due to a gap in STEM opportunities for youth, so 14 to 18-year-olds here on Gumbaynggirr country, and it's in collaboration with the Coffs Harbour Library, and we've been running now for, this is our 2nd year. And basically the idea was to build real world sort of science and conservation experiences across a huge range of marine science avenues and pathways that there are out there, and to sort of highlight some of the diverse skills that can be useful, and just also to help sort of build connections and collaboration with the local organisations. So we're very lucky to have amazing volunteers this year, which has been awesome. And then we've also got a partnership with Southern Cross Uni, and we're working quite closely with the Gumbaynggirr Sea Rangers as well. So cultivating that sense of stewardship for the environment that we have here, and that Indigenous knowledge, and making sure that we're sort of integrating that into it as well. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, and what did the kids can experience during the year?
This year we've done some pretty cool stuff. We've got some more fun stuff coming up as well. So this last week we did science illustration. So we had someone come in and show us how to draw specimens. We've also done a couple of sessions at the National Marine Science Centre, so doing fish biology. We did an aquaculture session as well. We've done some really stuff with conservation as well, so taking samples from sawfish rostrum in the New South Wales area, which goes directly into conservation and things like that. And we've got a few more sort of dissections and going onto country and into some of the other marine organisations here in Coffs coming up. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of practical activities, so it's really good for the kids to learn and appreciate the ocean and its environment. So yeah, it's really cool. And so speaking about that, how is this program important for the new generations and the kids, like
I think it's sort of highlighting pathways into STEM, so sort of exposing them to universities, to the different ways that they could go, but also connecting them to their local ecosystems and their local environment. So even if they don't choose to go down a marine science pathway or anything like that, they have a deeper connection to country and things like that. So and just helps them to build connection and confidence in themselves for the next generation, which is pretty cool to see.
I must say, it's really nice to see a program like that even running. Like for me growing up, I didn't have any opportunities. Like I knew I wanted to go into a marine pathway and I had no opportunities for that. Like it's such a reserved sort of like area. And it's good to have that opportunity and show them that it is a career pathway, because growing up that was really hard to get into, or to even know what I could do at the end of that.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah, it was the same for me, especially in France, because we don't even have bachelors of marine science. So like when I told to my parents and family that I wanted to become a marine scientist, like they didn't even know that it was a possibility. So
cool.
It's so cool for the new generation to like get to know that it is a real job and they can do it. It's not a dream.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool. Like I will also try and like showcase really diverse individuals as well. Like a lot of the marine science TV shows can be, especially the older ones, can be sort of one way. So it's also about like, you know, seeing people who've had different career journeys into marine science. So I always try and get the speakers to give a little bit about their journey as well, because it's not linear. There's going to be changes and shifts and things happen. So
because when I was watching documentaries, most of the time the scientists were just like, they have grown near the ocean, and so they were a university that was doing marine science, and they just ended up in marine science. But it's like, personally it's so different, so it's good to see different stories and and to create stories for the kids as well.
So what kind of skills or mindset do you think are most important for someone who's wanting to pursue like this type of work?
Perseverance, passion, and just being a little bit nosy. Like just asking lots of questions and wanting answers to lots of questions. I think it's also probably being open to opportunities. So I remember when I started my honours in that lab, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do a PhD here. Like, and there was just no funding, there was no opportunity. And I was kind of very it's worked out really well for me. So I had to be open to other opportunities. And if I just sort of stayed in that, then I wouldn't have had the experiences that I've had. So yeah, just definitely being open and nosy.
As I think it's Stephen Soul from the National Marine Science Center, he said being a scientist is asking questions. So
that's the big thing,
you will ask questions.
When you're little, your parents ask you to stop asking why, and you're like, now you need to ask why. Why this?
So what sort of advice do you have for someone who has dreams of doing what you're doing?
I highly recommend attending conferences and networking. That's sort of something that's really been instrumental in my journey, is meeting people at these conferences and building those relationships. And from that, there's been a lot of opportunities and work that's come from that. And probably not to compare your journey to anyone else's.
I like that.
Yes, it's a hard one. It's easy to say, but it can be a bit harder to do.
Especially today with social media, everyone shares its journey, and you're just comparing yourself all the time. But like everyone is different, and like everyone will end up in a different type of subject. So
is there anything you wish you had known earlier in your career?
I don't know. I think there's things that potentially could have helped a little bit more, but I don't know that, the journey I've been on has been pretty great. So even had I known them, actually that's a lie, when I see what I've written here. I think it would be, I guess, making sure that you're picking a good supervisor and like a good project. So sort of honours level, it's much more about the supervisor than the project, but PhD, it's also a lot about your supervisor, but a lot more about the project as well. So just making sure that the supervisors are a good fit. And I highly recommend making sure you're talking to both to multiple genders of people that have worked with those supervisors, just so you get a more balanced approach to them. And I guess another one would be making sure, like if you do, I guess with anything, is just balancing your life and your work. Like it's
not getting too much in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially for the supervisors as well, because a PhD is really long. So if you choose the wrong topic or wrong supervisor, it can be really difficult.
Yeah. Especially if they're a primary supervisor.
Yeah.
You can do that. Sorry.
And just one last question: how can we as individuals help to change the way people see sharks?
I think things like if you see misinformation or you hear it, just gently calling it out, which can be hard because there can be quite an area that some people can be very passionate about. So it's also an area where you've got to pick that one. I think shifting a language is one. So that goes for individuals, but also for like our media and things like that. There's quite the language can be quite villainizing towards sharks. And I guess education. So as an individual, especially someone using the water, making sure that you sort of learn about the sharks in your area and if there's any research or any like management things in the area. So whether it's drones or any other sort of thing that's there, and just listening to those and
For sure. Do you have other questions, Jaycie?
No, I don't think so. Went over a lot. That was really
really
informative.
Well, thank you so much to both of you.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoyed this moment talking about sharks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it was really good to hear about your work, like in some more depth. Yeah,
because like I saw your socials, so I see a bit of what you're doing, but talking with you, we could I learned a lot more and a lot more details. So it's really good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank
It's
you
been
for
good.
coming.
Yeah, thank you.